Yo, what's up, guys? Coach Nate. I'm the owner at Steel Strength Training, and I'm just bringing you my best tips and tricks from the last decade plus of helping everyday men and women change their body, health, and lifestyle with strength training, nutrition, and accountability. I want to tell you a story today, and then I'm going to talk about a principle that will change your life and specifically your fitness, all right? Your health and fitness. So I get this text, and she says, Nate, I think I'm going to quit. I know I've been making good progress, but I think I'm gonna quit the program. And I'm like, yo, what? I'm like, you've been making amazing progress. Why are you gonna quit? She says, well, I've been busy the last couple months and I've had to reschedule a lot of my workouts. Maybe half my workouts I've had to reschedule. And so I feel like I'm a burden to you guys. I feel like I'm a problem. And, I feel like maybe now is just not the right time to focus on my health and fitness. And I'm like, dude, you are not, first of all, you're not a problem. We're extremely flexible. We understand. We work with everyday men and women. You're busy. You got obligations outside the gym, as you should, because your life would suck if the gym was the only thing that you did. And so I'm like, totally fine. You're not a problem. You're not a problem. You're not a problem. I assured her of that. And I was like, we love having you at the gym. We love to reschedule you. Whatever we got to do to get you in the gym, we are here for it. We're committed to you and your goals and helping you change your life. So I was like, don't let that be the reason that you want to quit. And I was like, also, you're making amazing progress. Like, you're doing so well. Don't stop. And so then I went on to talk to her about the idea of this concept that will change everything for you. By the way, she did stick around, and she's still with us today. She's lost over 50 pounds. We'll do a testimonial video of hers, or at least a before and after photo with a testimony very soon. And it's going to be really sweet. It's going to be super cool. She's had an incredible, amazing transformation. But what's the principle that I taught her? Do the best you can with what you have. Do the best you can with what you have. Now, instinctually, this is kind of what we do for the most part. Most of us do this in our marriages, in our parenting, in our work. Like, if we have a bad day as a spouse, as a parent, as an employee or business owner, maybe you just don't show up the way that you want to show up. Come on, we all have those days. Well, maybe you beat yourself up for it a little bit. Maybe you feel a little guilt, a little shame. But at the end of the day, you're going to get back up and try again the next day. You're not going to give up on your marriage. You're not going to give up on your kids. You're not going to give up on your job just because you had a bad day. You're going to pick yourself up, get some rest, maybe have a good cry, whatever you got to do to process it. But then the next day, you're just going to get back at it, right? Get back on the horse and get back to it. And for some reason, we don't think like that with our health and fitness. For some reason, with our health and fitness, it's black or white. It's all or none. It's 0 or 100. Like, there's no middle ground for so many people. And I think this is likely the number one thing that keeps people stuck with their health and fitness. The reason that you still feel fat, sick, weak, out of shape is because you're treating it like all or none. Imagine if you treated anything else in your life all or none. Imagine if you treated your marriage all or none. You had a bad day. Maybe you're impatient with your spouse. You're impatient with your kids. You just decide to walk out because you're like, well, I blew it today, so I'm just going to be done being a husband, being a wife, being a mom, being a dad. I'm just done. I had a bad day. I had a bad week. I'm done. I'm just going to quit. Really? Like, do you really think that your spouse or your children are going to be better off like that? You have a bad day at work, a bad week at work, right? For whatever reason, you don't perform your best for a day, for a week. Do you just quit? You're just going to walk away? Do you really think that the company that you work with is going to be better off? No, of course not. So why on earth would you think that it is a good idea for you to walk away from your health and fitness, something that's arguably as, if not more important than any of the things that we just talked about, your marriage or your parenting, your work? I mean, it's hard to say whether health is more important to those things or not, because those things are crucial. But if you're not well, like, you can't show up in those areas the way that you want. And so we've got to get out of this all or none mentality when it comes to our health and fitness. And instead, we need to do the best that we can with what we have. And that mirrors our first core value, which is faith. And part of that, I kind of pack a couple core values into each word. But part of faith, that faith core value that we have as part of the Johnson family, and that what we have as part of our core values at Steel Strength Training, is being a faithful steward. You see, we don't believe in hustling and grinding all the time. That's no way to live. There are seasons for that where it's very important. You're just gonna, put on your work boots and get after it. Sun up to sundown. You're gonna have seasons like that, all right? But that's not a way to live your life long term. And at the same time, we certainly don't want laziness either. That's not good. Laziness is not a blessing, all right? So we hate laziness. We hate the hustle and grind mentality. But here's the thing. There are times that might look like hustling and grinding and might look like laziness if you're looking at it incorrectly. Because you have to ask, is it laziness or is it rest? Rest is productive, all right? So what is it? Hustling and grinding, working, being diligent, working hard is very, very valuable. And there are seasons where you're going to have to work a lot and you're going to be exhausted at the end of the day. And that's part of being a faithful steward. But if you're constantly finding yourself, like life should have this ebb and flow. And if you constantly find yourself in one extreme all the time, something's not right. Okay, we don't want to be lazy. We don't want to have inactivity for long periods of time. We don't want to have, hyperactive periods of hyperactivity for long periods of time. But you want to do the best you can with what you have. And that means being a faithful steward of your health and fitness. And that means, look, in the good seasons, take advantage of it. In the good seasons, work out a lot, walk a lot, eat super well, cook all your meals, prep your meals. I hate meal prep, but if you want to meal prep, right? It's not for me, all right? I want fresh meals. But look, whatever you got to do, if you have a good season, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it and go all in. If you're in a decent season, okay, do the best you can with that. Work out a few times a week, 2 to 3 times a week. Eat as best as you can, all right? Try to make, or at least maintain, but maybe even make a little progress, okay? And then look, when you go through a season of pain, suffering, difficulty, and it's going to happen, it's part of the human experience, just do the best you can with what you have. And that might feel like nothing. It might not. It's almost never nothing. Though doing nothing at times is, doing nothing at times may be acceptable for a season. Certainly during extreme circumstances. But there's almost always something you can do in regards to your health and fitness. But look, being a faithful steward and doing the best you can with what you have during a really hard season might actually look like maintaining your progress. It might even look like just trying to not lose too much progress during that season. That might come as bad news to some of you, but it might come as an encouragement to some. So if you find yourself in a hard season and you find yourself going backwards, that's life. If you're in a hard season, know that a good time is coming soon. And you just need to keep going and doing the best you can with what you have and minimizing the damage being done. Even better if you can maintain. And if you're in a good season, don't assume that it's going to last forever, because it won't. And you want to take advantage of the good season while you have it, so that when the bad season rolls around, you're in a much better place. And hopefully by that point, you will be better prepared to weather that storm. But all this to say, it's important that we stop starting and stopping. We stop being all or none. We stop being 0 or 100. And instead, we start doing the best we can with what we have that day, that season. And if you take this approach, it will change your life, and you will be leaner, stronger, and healthier than you ever thought possible, because it's that consistent showing up. Sometimes you show up amazing, sometimes you show up and suck, and a lot of times you show up and you're just decent or pretty good. But if you just keep showing up consistently over time, you will be a brand new person. In 1, 2, 5, 10 years, you won't even recognize who you are. Stop giving up on your health and fitness. Treat it the way you would treat your marriage, the way you treat your children, the way you treat your job. It's very important. And your future self will thank you. Do the best you can with what you have.